Dear friends, today we'll be discussing a very basic and an interesting topic. So, we will start with the very basic of the concept. Then we will try to build upon with the scenarios and again the minute adjustments as well. So, most of us don't know what are the settings in a non-invasive ventilation other than EPAP and IPAP. So, there are many other things which we have to learn. So, I will start with the basics as I've already told, then we will gradually build up. So the NIV or a non-invasive machine is a small machine you all might have seen with even having a battery backup of. There are different machines with 1 hour to 4 hour or 6 hours battery backup, and it's very portable machine. You can carry that even in home use. We can use that, and there are even advanced models of non-invasive ventilators as well, including with the dual limb circuit and higher settings. And the BiPAP is a terminology by one company. So we interchangingly use NIV and BiPAP. There are different terminologies like that. So basically, it is called a non-invasive ventilation. So in an invasive ventilation, you are putting an endotracheal tube and ventilating. Here, instead of that, we here you will be just using a another interface other than endotracheal tube. So though no invasive devices inserted. That's why we call it as a non-invasive ventilation. So first of all, we'll try to see what is a ventilator. We can call it as a journey around the ventilator. So the main objective will be in NIV also we have different modes, even though sometimes we may not have noticed that. And how the non-invasive ventilation or a ventilator is supports the patient's breathing, and how the ventilator is responding to the patient refers, and again how to fine tune that, and different terminologies used in NIV, basically IPAP, PPAP, pressure support, inspiratory time, at least the basic things. Then we go ahead with the further advanced things. So basically IPAP, PPAP, and pressure support, inspiratory time. Clear? So with that, we will move on to the types of different ventilators. So this we have discussed during the previous ventilator class, mechanical ventilation. We have two types of ventilators. One is a pressure preset and another is a volume preset, or pressure controlled and a volume controlled. Both are assist control modes. So here in the first one, you can see the pressure control mode where the pressure is a fixed set module. As you can see, the pressure here is a fixed one, but the volume will be varying depending on the length, compliance, or the resistance. Basically, the compliance. Okay, but here in the volume preset, the volume will be constant, but the pressure will be vary. Okay, very clear. So we have a pressure control and a volume control. So in all the invasive ventilator, or majority of the invasive ventilator, we use the pressure preset. Even though there are some volume support modes nowadays coming into the market, we mainly use the pressure preset. And this class also will be using the pressure preset non-invasive ventilators, which is seen routinely in the ICUs. So the main difference between the pressure and the volume control ventilators are, which we have discussed already during the mechanical ventilation class. Here the clinician is determining the pressure in the pressure control, and the tidal volume will be varying. Here the clinician is determining the tidal volume and the minute ventilation. Okay, and the tidal volume delivery here, it is depending on the pressure it is used, and here again it is a constant, but the pressures will be varying. So the airway pressures in the pressure control ventilation is a constant, but here it will be varying with the lungs compliance. And the peak, the good peak compensation is seen in pressure preset ventilators. Here you can see the peak, the initial part, there's a peak flow. The peak flow is very high here, but in volume, the peak flow is not that good. So that day during the discussion, Dr. Kiran was mentioning, so when the patient is having a significant like air hunger or air like a air requirement, the preset flow or the pressure set ventilators will be better because you have a rapid flow in the initial part. I'm not going to make it complicated, don't worry. This is just to understand the concept between pressure and volume control. As I've already told, here in NIV, we'll be concentrating only on pressure preset. But when you are using a ventilator, you should know what is a pressure control and a volume control. Now, coming to the ventilator per se, here you can see like we have different parts of the ventilator. First thing, we have a ventilator like this is a BiPAP ventilator, and this is a single limb circuit. Usually, we will be having a two limb circuit. Here, only one limb will be there. That will be going to the patient inspiration, and the expiratory gas, the whatever the patient exhales, that will be leaking around the leak port. Okay, so in other words, you should need a leak port in the face mask. Otherwise, there will be carbon dioxide retention and again barotrauma. So once again, whenever you use a single limb circuit, the mask should have a leak port. So this can be done in different ways. Like you have two types of mask. This is called a vented mask, means you can see a hole here, or sometimes we'll be having a mask, sorry, a valve here. So whenever you keep the your hand near that, you can see the significant air leak. So you should have an air leak, or if it is the mask is not having an air leak there, you can connect something like a leak port here. There are two types of leak port. The same way, when you are connecting the single limb non-invasive ventilator to a tracheostomy tube, there also you will have to connect to the this leak port. Okay. And here in COVID also, now what we are doing is, instead of these non-vented circuit, vented mask, we use a mask without the vent or without leak, and then we put a viral filter here. Then after that you put a leak port. So whatever gas is coming out will be first of all filtered through the viral filter, then only it will be exhaled out. Okay, so here it will be non-vented. You put a viral filter here and the leak port this part. So this will be coming through the viral filter and going out. Okay, so that is about the single limb circuit. So always keep in mind, whenever you use the single limb circuit, you have to use a vented mask. Okay, I've seen many patients like going for a cardiac like complications because of using this mask without a vent. In the hospital, you will be having both types of vent. The same way, sometimes the bedside nurse or the sisters will connect the NIV directly to the tracheostomy without the leak port. So in that case also, patient may not be able to exhale out, and the carbon dioxide will build up and the patient will be having discomfort. So always keep in mind, single limb circuit, you should have a leak here. Okay, yeah. So now you come to the the BiPAP, or the, sorry, not BiPAP, dual limb circuit. In dual limb circuit, we have a inspiratory port. Okay, the gas goes in, the patient exhales, and the gas goes out through the expiratory limb. So you have an inspiratory limb and an expiratory limb. So this is basically used in a ICU ventilator. You select a non-invasive ventilator mode, then go with the dual limb circuit. So here what you have to keep in mind is, the mask you are using should be non-vented. Okay, so there should not be any air leak here because there is an expiratory port. Clear? Repeat once again, dual limb circuit, no air leak. Single limb circuit, air leak should be there. Okay, yeah. So now, how to start a ventilator? So this is a ventilator. You have to initially you have to connect the ventilatory circuit to the power plug. Okay, so the cable should be connected to the plug. That is the first step. Then you should, if you want, you can put a filter here, an HME filter or a viral filter. Then you connect the circuit there, followed by a vented mask. So a vented mask, circuit, filter, and the ventilator or the BiPAP machine. So this is the way you should assemble the circuit. So this is the first thing you have to do. Okay, and after connecting, in the back side of the machine there will be a switch. You switch on that, then you will have to do the adjustment. And the circuit, you always use a sterile circuit. Don't reuse one circuit used for one patient to another patient. There are reusable circuit, but you will have to ETO sterilize those circuit. Clear? Yeah. So now coming to the respiratory cycle. Again, very basic part. So this is the usual respiratory cycle. So the cycle begins with a what? How will you begin? You begin with a trigger. So the first point will be a trigger. The patient's respiration or the inspiratory effort is sensed by the machine. Okay. Then this inspiration builds up. So this is the inspiratory phase. So at the cycling time, the inspiration ends and it continues in the expiration. So I'll repeat: the trigger followed by an inspiration. Then at the cycling time, the inspiration stops and continues as a expiration. I think I'm clear. Okay. Yeah. So now we will see what are the different parameters we are adjusting in a non-invasive ventilator. So we are plotting pressure against time. So this is the usual the pressure volume scalar. Sorry, time pressure scalar. So this is pressure against time. So this is a pressure time scalar. So here we have the basic pressure. Here it is called EPAP, or the pressure remaining inside the circuit is called a EPAP. In a normal ventilator, we call it as a PEEP. So PEEP and EPAP both are same. Or other words, which we have already told, when the patient is exhaling, you partially obstruct the system and keep a pressure inside the system to recruit more alveoli, or recruit, or like to have a like shunting of the upper airway, standing of the upper airway. We use something called an EPAP. Then in the higher pressure, we have the pressure control, or it is called a IPAP. So the difference between EPAP and IPAP is the pressure support. It is also called delta P. Okay. So the difference between EPAP and IPAP is the driving pressure, which generates a tidal volume. So if you want more tidal volume, you have to increase IPAP, or you have to increase the difference between EPAP and IPAP. Okay. Suppose if you are increasing EPAP to like from 4 to 6, to maintain the same tidal volume, you have to increase IPAP also. If previously it is 15, you have to increase 2 to 17. Okay. So that is about EPAP and IPAP. Now, so that is the difference is called the pressure support. Now coming to the other phases. So the inspiration begins and the inspiratory flow reaches at the maximum point. What is this called? Please like keep chatting there. So from the inspiration the inspiration to the maximum flow. So this is called the rise time. Okay. So the rise time, when you reduce, then you will be having a quick flow. If the patient is having a air hunger, you have to reduce the rise time. Once you increase the rise time, to reach the maximum flow, the patient will take more time. Okay. The same way, there is something called a TI minimum, or inspiratory time minimum. So this is the minimum time of inspiration required. So if you keep this TI minimum lower, you will be having more expiratory time. So in a spontaneously breathing patient, if you want to give a more expiratory time, like in an asthma, you keep the TI minimum in a very low. Okay, something like a 150 milliseconds or so, or 200 milliseconds. If you keep these things very high, again you will be having issues. So now the this is called the from the this point, that is from the beginning of inspiration to the ending of inspiration, is called, what is that? Please keep typing. Sorry. Okay, so this is the total time is called T inspiration. Okay, The same way here, this is called the TI max. The TI max also will give you the rough idea about the expiration. Okay, if you want to give a like more expiration, again you will have to adjust with the TI max. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
So
and
sorry,
can I interrupt?
yeah,
There are some queries like some people want to get regarding rise time again, rise
okay.
time ramp.
Yeah, the rise time, otherwise ramp is called. You can see this is the inspiration is starting from here, and that this is reaching the maximum point. Okay, or the maximum flow. The time required to achieve the maximum flow is called the rise time. Okay, so if you want to make this curve little bit towards this side, suppose I want to make the curve like this. Okay, means I am making Ti shorter. Okay, so here the Ti will be short. So Ti will be short here. Okay, the same way if this is the Ti minimum. If I reduce the Ti minimum to this point, my inspiration is reduced, and again I will be having more time for the expiration. So that is a like advantage of having a TI. Okay, sorry, TI minimum. A TI is the inspiratory time which you have to assess and decide about other things. So the TI maximum is the maximum time you are giving for the like inspiration. Thus again in the neurological condition and all, you give more time so that the patient can have a more inspiratory time. Okay, so this is the maximum inspiratory time. So if you give a less TI max, again the expiration can be slightly prolonged, which we'll explain with the case scenarios. Okay, yeah. So now the common ventilatory modes. So we'll go to the common ventilatory mode. So please keep typing the common ventilatory modes in. You can in the chat. You can keep like keep chatting. What are the common ventilatory modes used? Yeah, yes, SST mode, CPAP mode, ST mode, PCV mode. No, that's about BiPAP. Uh, BiPAP, AVAPS. Yeah, excellent. Who installed AVAPS? Bushna. Okay. Okay. The vivid BiPAP, but there are different modes about that. True. Okay. So with that, actually, we'll move on to the different modes. So we have modes like we have a mode like a CPAP mode, then we have spontaneous mode, then we have timed spontaneous and timed mode, then we have something like a pressure assist control mode, then a timed mode. So these are the usual mode. AVAPs and all we won't take for discussion now. We will discuss those points later. So we have a CPAP mode, a spontaneous mode, and an ST mode, PAC, the pressure assist control mode, and timed mode, which we will describe one by one. So this is the CPAP mode. So here in CPAP mode, as you can see, the trigger and the cycling both are determined by the patient. So there is a continuous pressure here, and again the patient. These are the patient efforts here, and this is the respiratory flow, and the flow and the tidal volume depending on the patient effort. There is no IPAP, that is why there is no pressure support. So whatever the patient generates the tidal volume, so that will be supported by the machine. Okay, so there is only a like a expiratory positive pressure and expiratory positive pressure or continuous positive pressure. Okay, CPAP. So continuous positive airway pressure. So here again you can see the trigger, everything is controlled by the patient. We don't have much settings or much adjustment here at all. Even the smaller machine, the smallest of the machines will be having a CPAP. And again, the CPAP how to adjust is depending on the patient effort, which we'll again tell you like how to adjust a CPAP, especially in a like OSA patient. So now coming to the spontaneous mode. Here in spontaneous mode, we will be setting both EPAP and an IPAP. So the difference between EPAP and IPAP will give you the tidal volume. So here, the patient initiates the inspiration. You can see the patient is the initiate the inspiration. We are setting an EPAP and IPAP. The difference between these two generates the pressure difference and the tidal volume. Okay, this is the tidal volume, and these all are the patient's efforts. Okay, in between, if the patient is not breathing, also there is no breath is happening, then another breath is produced. Okay, so the inspiratory phase, this can be ended at a TI minimum. Okay, so the inspiratory phase ends at TI minimum, which will come to that later again. Then we have a spontaneous and timed mode. Here the difference is the patient breathes. So in between, if the patient is not breathing at the fixed time, the machine will again give you a breath. Okay, so suppose the patient is taking a respiration of say at 12, and I set a backup rate of 15. So if the patient is not taking 15, the machine will give 15 rates that will be synchronized with the patient efforts. Clear? Any doubt? Uh, any doubt? Please keep chatting. So whenever you have any doubt, you can tell me at what point you are having the issues. Okay. So this is here. Once again, I'll repeat. So you will be having an IPAP and an EPAP. So the difference between these two things are the pressure support. So here, every this is these emblems or indicates the patient efforts. Okay, and again this is an inspiratory phase and an expiratory phase. So here, when the patient is not breathing, the machine will generate the breath. Okay, so now we move on to the pressure assist control mode. This is what I've told. This is the pressure assist control mode. So there's only mild difference between a pressure assist control mode and the ST mode. This is not commonly seen in our routine machines. So a little bit different from our ST mode. Here, what is the difference? Can you make out the difference? Here again, you can see there is an IPAP and an EPAP. The patient is breathing like that. The device initiates the inspiration, and that is again getting synchronized. Okay. So the ventilator is triggered into inspiration by the patient or after set period. So if you are setting a period and if the patient is not triggering, the machine will go for a next one. Okay. So slightly different here. You can see there is no much difference here. Here you can see in ST mode. This is again here at a fixed interval. The machine is generating. Even if the patient is not generating, the machine will support the breath and again generate the breath. So this is almost the same thing, but again there will be something like a pressure assist control pressure. So every volume will be almost fixed. The machine will assess that. And in time mode, everything like you have the TI is a fixed one. This is just like a control mode. Okay, the patient will. This is just like a pressure control ventilation or assist control mode, where the breath will be a TI will be fixed. So at the end of the TI, it will go into the expiratory phase, the backup rate, then the next TI, the backup rate, the next one. So in between, even if the patient is having an effort, the machine will not support that. Okay, this is a pure timed mode, and again the patient will not tolerate this one, but this can be used as a when you use it as a transport ventilator or something, or when the patient is very drowsy, or in that case you should not continue with an NIV, but to buy some time in such situation you can go for a team mode. Otherwise you are not using a timed mode in a ventilator. We always go with a ST mode. Okay. So now coming to the ventilatory settings. So this will be the.
Sorry, Anup, there was a request to explain the difference between ST and PAC modes.
Okay. So I've already told. See the ST mode here again. This is called a spontaneous timed mode. Here the patient is breathing spontaneously, and here again see the breath is initiated by the patient. So here again see every breath is initiated by the patient. Here again patient is initiating the breath. But here again you can see this yellow indicates the device initiated. So in between, if there is a huge gap or the patient is becoming not taking breath, the machine will sense that and machine will generate a breath. This yellow indicates this is a like machine generated breath, or this is the spontaneous breath. The spontaneous and the machine generated breath. So this is how it is done. So here it again, ventilator supports any breath initiated by the patient. So suppose if the patient initiates like 20 breaths or 30 breaths, so everything will be supported. Same way if the patient generates only 15 or 10 and you kept it 15, it will go for the 15 numbers. Okay, so that is the one. So you can keep the backup rate also here. But here the difference is in PAC you can again see the difference here is again here the patient initiates, patient can again initiates, the device can also the patient can initiate, if not breathing the device can also initiate. But the difference is the inspiratory phase except ends at TI. Here you can see here the at TI itself the expiration ends, sorry, inspiration ends. So you have more control on inspiration expiration ratio. I'll again go back. Here again you can see this is inspiratory phase is not completely regulated by that. The patient can have a different levels of inspiration, but here that is, see, everything will be fixed. You cannot have a varying thing. I think now I'm very clear. Okay.
Okay, one more thing. There was a query to mark where exactly exhalation starts. I think from this graph itself, it's very clear that the demarcation is very clear. The inspiration phase and exhalation.
Again, I'll draw here. This is the point where your inspiration starts.
Yes.
And this is the peak flow you are reaching. Okay. Okay. So this is the rise time. This is the rise time. Okay. And this is the point where the inspiration ends and the expiration starts. And here you have this is the TI. So this is the TI. And again here this is the PAC mode. This is always constant. Your TI is always constant. In ST you can see your TI is not constant. Here this is the TI here. Depending on the patient effort, the TI will be varying. Okay, that is again because of here the inspiratory phase depends on TI minimum, but here this is again different. The inspiratory phase ends at TI. Clear? Okay. So now we will go to the time mode, which we have already explained. So now coming back to our settings. So we have one button here. Okay, this is one button, and this is the dialer. So usually to select anything, you have to press this dialer once, then you have to rotate it to this side or this side to reduce the values. This is basically looking at the settings. To do any settings, you have to press that. This is the alarm incidence. So whichever the time the patient had alarms, everything, you can look at this thing. This is basically looking at the monitors. Different pages of monitors are there. So how much ever time you press that, you can see that. This is basically for posing the alarm. Okay. So this is for the posing the alarm. This is the dialer, and this is the on-off switch. So initially to start the button, you can switch that. The same way to put the patient on the standby machine also, on standby also, you can press this dialer button, then you can give a confirmation. Okay. So now moving to the second one. If you push the initial button, that is the monitoring button. This is the second page. Here you can see the first page you have already seen. Okay, this is the first page. In first page, you will be seeing only inspiration and expiration. You can have a green bar here, which you all might have seen. That is the first page. So here it will be the IPAP, and here it is the EPAP. So it will be moving on from this point to this point. Okay. So here, if you press that, you can see what is the leak, what is the tidal volume, respiratory rate, the IE ratio. Here again IE ratio you don't have complete control, but you can adjust the IE ratio with the TI timings. So what is the IE ratio and what is the TI what we have kept? and what is the minute ventilation. Okay, so this is the second basis of monitoring. And in the third page, you can see the pressure and flow. This is something like our the PV scalars, like something that you can see. The pressure time and flow time scalars you can see. Depending on that, you can see whether the all the efforts are picked up by the machine or not picked up by the machine. And here in the settings again, you have initially different settings are there. The mode we have to set. The different modes are there. I've already told. We have to set the IPAP. We have to set the EPAP. So initially you should set mode, IPAP and EPAP, and there is a pathology can be reset in some of the machines. Like you will be having obstructive, restrictive, and a normal. So here, if you select something like an obstructive for a COPD, then obviously these inspiratory times, everything will be TI, all those triggers, everything will be varying. Okay, so this is how the settings will be. Suppose if you press this advanced setting, then it will go into the like this is not the advanced settings. This is another mode where you can again go into the learn circuit mode options. Again, the oxygen calibration, start EPAP, maximum RAM time, and RAM time. Here again, what is the start EPAP means? Start EPAP means suppose you are setting a like EPAP of something like 6. Okay, so it is just like the normal ventilator. As the patient is completely conscious, it will not immediately start from the 6. So you can set up a rate somewhere around 3. So initially it will start 3, then gradually it will go into 6. So how much time you need for that, that also you can set that. Okay, so that is why the patient will be more comfort. Initially there will be only minimal pressure, then gradually will be building up. So when setting the ventilator, you have to always set a start EPAP, then the target EPAP which we have already set. Same way the RAM time also you can set accordingly. Okay.
All the details regarding the upcoming topics, the PDF downloadable either presentations or answer keys will be down. The link will be available in our Facebook page. So we'll use this link to coordinate our academic activities. If you have any suggestions, feedback, again you can post in that Facebook page.